Hi guys, my name's Mark. I'm the Director of Education for Florida Beauty Academy here in Central Florida. I'd like to welcome you to our first installment of our video series. We're going to be doing a haircut today. It is a medium layered haircut. It is going to give us an effect similar to the Rachel, where we have a fringed perimeter in the front. We're going to go ahead and do a side bang because that's what we consulted on and that's what she's looking for today. And we know that time is money right now, so we've really got to make the best of what we've got sitting in our chair. So I'm going to do this haircut in about 4 actual cuts, and it will be complete and it will be even and no one can find any flaws with it. Here we go. Okay, first step on this haircut is to separate the front from the back. So I'm going to start parting on my main balance point, which is where my comb leaves the head. I'm just going to separate the two and get it out of my way. Okay, this is a previously uncut mannequin. So first thing I'm going to do is just kind of go in and take off a whole bunch of these ratty ends. We'll get that accurate a little later in the cut. So I'm not really interested in the length right now. What I'm going to do is now take this section above the occipital bone all in one piece. So basically top of the ear to top of the ear. I'm going to leave 2 to 3 inches on the other side of my fingers, and I'm going to come in deep again and texture that out. Notice I didn't take off any more length. It's the layering for the back of my cut. Okay, so we went through and we did the bulk of the layers through the midsection of the back of the head or above the occipital bone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine my length, cut the perimeter, and then we're going to blend the layers to the bottom length. I'm not going to put it in my fingers. We're going to do what I call a channel cut just to texturize it through. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb this hair right to the middle. I'm going to apex all of this together. And in one cut, I'm just going to cut all of that off. I'm just going to lay it on my hand and I'm going to channel cut that out. I'm just going to drag that down to the perimeter length. And that's going to give me my blend. I don't want too much of a blend. I want the movement of the texture I did with the length and the layers. I just want that to kind of blend together. I want that Joan Jett looking disconnection. We were doing these on stage 2 seasons ago, so they're just now starting to hit the general public. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the front section now. I'm going to do basically the same thing I did in the back. I'm going to come to right below the side right and side left round, and I'm going to take that entire section and I'm going to pull it out in front of her face, and that's what's going to produce those layers. This right here is going to be my guide for the front. Again, I'm going to take this entire section, get a nice good comb on it. Again, I want about 7 inches from the face. So I'm just going to go in and texturize all of the length off of that. And then I'm going to leave 2 to 3 inches in there so I can go back in and really put a texture on that. I'm just going to take my side sections, comb those together, not dealing with the top sections, just the two sides. So I can come in and going into a deep texture, taking those off. Okay, for my last step on the bulk of this haircut, we're just going to come in, we're going to take some from the back corner ear where we left that a little bit longer by apexing the perimeter in the back. We're just going to marry those two together, not taking off a whole bunch of length because she wants to keep her length. And then again, we're just going to take the sides and pick up where these layers left off, channel cut those to the perimeter, and then we'll work on our bang, and our haircut is almost done. So starting here on the left side, I'm going to make sure I pick up a little bit of the section right behind the ear. I'm just going to bring those two sections together. Here's my guide. I'm just going to take off those longer straggly pieces. I'm just going to lay this in my hand. You can see where that last layer reaches, and then I'm going to go in and just slightly channel cut that, because we can do that when it's dry and we can see better just how much really needs to come out. That we all did this line right here on the perimeter, so she had these PC things, but then we left all of this bulk right here behind that area, and it was really hard for the client to style at home because this all fell into place, but this did not. This got really bulky and really heavy, so once that's dry, we'll go back and texturize that out as we need it to marry the front with right behind the ear. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side now. And again, I'm going to pick up this entire section. Laying it in my hand, seeing where that last layer is, and then coming in and channel cutting the two together. Okay, last step of the haircut. Me and my client have talked. We want to do a side fringe, and I'm going to put a little twist on that. So let's go. Normally what we would do is, we'll take out that section of fringe and just go in and slide cut that out. What I don't want to do that this time because I want to leave that bang a little heavier. So what I'm actually going to do is get most of it out of my way. I'm going to take the innermost corner of the bang, the shortest most corner of the bang. I'm going to detail that out, see where it's going to lay. I'm just going to take that off. At this point, this is going to be my guide. So I'm in the same position. I can feel my guide dropping out of my fingers. I'm going to come in underneath and slide cut that all the way to the current length. I'm going to add another 1/4 inch section, drawing it over to my original. I can feel my guide falling out of my fingers, so I'm going to come in again, slide cut, very slightly closing my shear so I'm not tearing it out of their head. So now when I take and I move this hair back over, I've got a nice side part that's not too light. And what's nice about this is I can come in when I'm styling. I can give her some height right there, because this underside is slightly shorter than what this hair is here. If I want that demure heavy bang while I'm as a styling option, that's there. I'm going to move it more forward, but for the style today, I want you to see how I can get some nice weight right there on the corner, but nice and light and airy through the ends. Okay, so that is our haircut. We are complete. If there's any other detailing that your client needs, we'll do that after we style it and after it's dried. So let's go ahead and get her styled so you can see the finished product. Okay, here we have Deborah. I have styled her and we let the natural curl of her hair take over. and just let it be free. She's really heavy right in through here. And then I get into my wispy disconnected pieces right in through here. So I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna hook my bottom blade in there, and I'm just gonna channel some of that out. This is also a great technique for two-toned, where it's darker or lighter underneath, because that opens up and channels that hair so you can see the tone popping through underneath. And again on this side, to connect that shorter piece of that bang. Good right there. And there we have it. Okay guys, here's our finished product. Nice little hard rocker haircut, got lots of movement to it, swings, there's no big volume out of it. We've put very little flat ironing into this. Our next segment is giving her a perm. I know that's a dirty little word in our industry right now. However, they are coming back and they are much different than they were when we were doing them in the 80s and 90s. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of new techniques that you can take back into the salon with you and actually do a perm and feel proud of it. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed today's segment. We will see you soon. We are putting the smart in the art.